I'm going to give you a thrust kick, and then maybe a sigh.
We're doing the big battle royal. Demolition Man, Last Action Hero, and Judge Dredd.
Right. Oh. And all this time, I was ready to strike. So, Demolition Man, Last Action Hero, Judge Dredd. What a battle. I can do this with my hands behind my back. Oh, you want to take charge? Right. Well, I better be off and hibernate.
Yeah, awesome martial arts stuff, but hey, but yeah, that's, we've done that. When people are delayed, but this is one of our biggest crossovers, and there's a lot with these three films. Demolition Man is an iconic cult classic. Last Action Hero is an iconic cult classic. And Judge Dredd is just, but it's entertaining and has some good quotes like double whammy. But let's start with Demolition Man. You got Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes. Now, something interesting about Demolition Man. Stallone's character wears the same costume as he would and does in The Expendables. And Demolition Man has a few action icons. Jesse the Body Ventura is in there. Now, he wasn't brought into any Expendables because of political status and a few other things, but the Expendables pretty much started with Demolition Man. You've got the Arnie as president joke, which is brought back in the Expendables, so in a sense, that's a sequel, yet prequel. This is set in the future, but things were set up in this. So, the Demolition Man, John Spartan, is a cop. He's trying to get Simon Phoenix. He does, but there's a bit of a dramatic twist. He's set up and he's blamed for the death of all these hostages, which blow up in a big building. But, spoiler alert, they were already dead. So it's a Master's plan to take down the man. So he's frozen and he comes back so many years later. And everything's all safe and all the fun stuff is against the law. But Stallone, still keeping it old school, he wants to bring back some of the good stuff. You know, you got Sandra Bullock in there, who does awesome as always. And a year or so later from Demolition Man, she'll be in Speed and does well in that. And of course, you got everyone's favorite, Rob Schneider. He's your comic relief, even though he's not really funny, but he's good in small doses. He's great in Home Alone 2, and he's possible in this. So, you also got the legendary Bob Gunton. In there, he wants to send Spartan back to the freezer. You also have Grand L. Bush. who was in Die Hard, License to Kill, Street Fighter. So, yeah, he's quite an action icon. So, how come he wasn't in any Expendables? But we got him here. So, Simon Phoenix is released. He's like this power, insane martial artist. And John Spartan's a seamstress, so everyone tries to take down Phoenix, but he kicks ass. There's quirks, there's quips. Then we got some awesome sets and awesome action. Lots of gunplay and all that. The Underground with the Rat Burger. And yeah, a few jokes and Dennis Leary. Jack Black's in there for a cameo. And we got the awesome showdown. A few foreshadowing, you know, when someone goes, I'll lose my head if it wasn't attached. And of course, at the end, he loses his head. Now, Last Action Hero. We have some action stars in that. So, this is sort of a little prelude to Expendables as well, because we have the assembled cast. Now, where's the crossover here? You're asking. Well, in Last Action Hero, you got that Sly Stallone joke, where he's as the Terminator in T2. So there's that. Film's also a bit self-aware. It's an action, it's a comedy. It has a simple cast, it blends stuff, and it's about a cop who's questioned by an authority figure. And the ending, how the villain is defeated, is very similar to in Demolition Man. You got all the electric effects, and sure, the guy blows up. He's shot in the head and he explodes. But yeah, the lightning effect when the river is taken care of is a lot like what happens with Simon Phoenix. But yeah, the connections are the cop, the Stallone joke, and the assembled cast of notable actors. Now, Judge Dredd. Futuristic. You got a cop. You got Rob Schneider back in there. Pretty much doing the same old thing. And you got an assorted cast of action stars in there. So these three are sort of like a trilogy because they've got a few parallels and connections. Like Stallone, he's playing a cop again. He's dealing with Rob Schneider again. And he's set up to have broken the law and had people killed. And he's pretty much sent away and punished. And that happens in Demolition Man. So he's got to take down this guy who's like more advanced in skill and whatnot. And he does. So there's those parallels, those connections. And like there's a lot I can say. So yeah, those three, that's pretty much what they have in common. Like some of the jokes, some of the setups, like they're all having a futuristic world. So the only ones that really sort of cross over in a sense with more of the similarities are Last Action Hero and Demolition Man, but Judge Dredd has a few things to do the same as Demolition Man, like the castings and that, but they're all to do with the cops. Two have Rob Schneider. Two have a similar ending. Two have a joke of one another, and that is pretty much repeated in the Expendables because Bruce Willis asks what's with him. Oh, he wants to be president. And Arnie, of course, says, oh, give it to my friend he loves spending time in the jungle. And that joke is brought in with True Lies, because Jamie Lee Curtis says, I married Rambo. Because there's a big shootout and guns. So, yeah. That's crazy connection. And on the top of my head, that's as much as I can document. So, they're fun films. Demolition Man is number one. Then I put Last Action Hero, and then Judge Dredd. And that's the Battle Royal, so scare you later.